Imagine a battlefield where it's no longer tanks or fighter jets that decide the outcome of a war, but swarms of drones, millions of flying machines programmed to spy, strike, and wear down an enemy far bigger than themselves. In Ukraine, this vision is no longer a science fiction scenario. It's a reality that is already reshaping modern warfare. Since the Russian invasion in 2022, Ukraine has understood one thing very clearly. When you face a giant like Russia, you need to strike fast, strike deep, and strike smart. Drones have become Kyiv's favorite weapon. From cheap FPV drones to long-range attack models, each drone is an eye in the sky and a hidden blade in the dark. And today, the plan is simple. Flood the skies with millions of drones to exhaust the enemy until they break. In 2024, the European Union plans to deliver 4 million drones to Ukraine. But Ukraine's own industry says it can produce up to 8 million drones per year, all types combined. The industrial effort has already reached a capacity of $35 billion, yet only 45% of that potential is currently used. In other words, Ukraine still has a huge margin to saturate the front lines with flying machines. At first, these drones were mostly used for surveillance and observation, but very quickly the Ukrainian military realized they could partly replace costly artillery and precision-guided missiles. A simple FPV drone, built from off-the-shelf hobby parts, can carry an explosive charge and dive straight into a tank, a trench, or an ammo depot. The result? Precise strikes, dirt-cheap costs, and devastating effect. Even on the Russian side, the threat is taken seriously. Igor Girkin, a former FSB officer now imprisoned, warned on Telegram, "Thanks to these millions of drones, Ukraine will wear Russia down, and Europe can keep producing as much electronics and weapons as it wants. If nothing changes, this leads us straight to defeat." This rare admission says it all. Moscow fears these mechanical swarms more than it fears a Leopard tank or a Patriot missile. At the latest NATO summit in The Hague, President Volodymyr Zelensky made it clear that Ukraine must lead the arms race in unmanned systems. Right now, the country can produce 8 million drones a year, but it needs funding, investment, and joint ventures with its allies. The goal is simple: turn Ukraine into a global leader in autonomous systems. Not just to survive today, but to become a defense technology giant tomorrow. And you, what do you think? Tell us in the comments and subscribe right now so you don't miss our next deep dives into this hidden war. But how can they produce so many drones so fast? According to Alexei Babenko, head of the Ukrainian company Six Drone, assembling 1 million FPV drones needs only 400 workers and parts that are easy to find on the global market. The secret? A decentralized production network. Mobile workshops, garages, warehouses, even basements turned into micro-factories. Every region, every city, every village can contribute to this improvised air force. Where a tank costs millions and takes months to roll off the line, an FPV drone costs a few $100s and can be made in just a few hours. It's David versus Goliath in the 21st century. Fast, agile, and almost impossible to fully stop. If you find this information eye-opening, share this video now so more people see what's really happening behind the scenes. Together, let's spread the truth. But it's not all easy. Building is one thing. Equipping these drones with thermal cameras, explosives, or anti-jamming systems is another. Ukrainian engineers have to constantly innovate because Russia's electronic warfare tries to block or hijack these swarms. They also need to train thousands of pilots, able to operate these machines often right at the front line, under extreme conditions. Despite these challenges, Ukraine wants to go further. Some experts are already calling it the next Israel of the defense industry. In a few years, made in Ukraine could appear on drones sold worldwide, shifting the balance of power in global arms exports. Are we witnessing the birth of a new era? An era where power is no longer measured by tanks and bombers, but by the ability to fill the sky with autonomous machines? One thing is certain. Every drone that takes off over Donbas or Belgorod changes the way big powers confront each other. Wars are no longer won just with bombs and soldiers. Now they are fought in the sky, with swarms as small as a bird, but as deadly as an entire army. Tell me in the comments, do you think Ukraine can really wear down Russia with its drone swarms? And above all, hit subscribe now and ring the bell to catch every new revelation. The war of the future has already begun, and it flies.